to The Deep Dive. We're the place where we take source materials, pull out the key insights, and basically help you get up to speed fast.
Yep, cutting through the noise.
Exactly. And today, we're looking at something really interesting. The difference between two words, sanctification and consecration.
Words that often get used, almost interchangeably.
Right. But our source today, drawing on some pretty deep commentary and scriptural references like I Thessalonians, suggests there's a very precise distinction.
And it's fascinating how it separates them. One is like a single definite step, boom, done.
And the other?
The other is framed as an entire ongoing process, a journey.
Okay, let's unpack that. Let's start with consecration. The source material seems to frame this as a very specific action.
Definitely. A moment. A decision point.
And the core idea seems to be about surrender, right? Like really yielding up your will, yourself, everything to God, or maybe a higher purpose depending on how you apply it.
Exactly. And the source is quite blunt about it. It says something like, whoever has not thus definitely surrendered his will, himself to the Lord, has never made a real consecration.
Wow. Okay, so it's not wishy-washy. It's a clear, conscious choice.
Very clear. And the text stresses how important seeing this step clearly is. It calls it no step more necessary to be seen clearly.
By committed people.
Right. And also crucial to be made plain to others. It suggests this clarity is foundational. It marks the real starting point.
Like drawing a line in the sand, you said earlier, before and after.
Precisely. Before you're maybe thinking about it, exploring. After you've jumped in, you're committed.
Okay, so that's consecration at decisive act. What about sanctification then? How does that fit in?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Like you said, sanctification includes that initial consecration. That act is part of it.
So it starts there.
Yes, but it doesn't end there. Sanctification is described as the entire process of transformation of character.
Transformation.
Okay, yeah. And preparation for the kingdom in the context of the source. It's the whole journey that follows the initial commitment.
So consecration is the I do, and sanctification is the living it out.
That's a great way to put it. It progresses throughout the Christian course, the text says, until the character is fully developed and ripened. It's ongoing growth.
And it also says something about maintaining it, right? It's not just about reaching a peak.
Exactly. It must then be maintained until the end of the way. So
Yeah.
it's this continuous effort, this refinement that needs to be sustained.
Which does raise that interesting point you mentioned. How can something be both a start and the whole journey?
Well, maybe the start defines the journey. The initial act sets the direction and the standard for everything that follows.
Okay, so let's bring this home for you listening. Why does this distinction actually matter?
Yeah. Beyond the specific theological context, what's the takeaway?
Right. Is it just semantics, or is there something practical here about, say, personal growth or achieving goals?
I think it's incredibly practical. Grasping these definitions helps us see commitment and growth in phases. It's not just vocabulary. It's about recognizing, different stages.
Can you give an example, maybe outside the original context?
Sure. Think about deciding to get fit. That moment you commit, you buy the gym membership, you tell people, you make a real decision. That's like your consecration.
The definite step.
Right. But then there's the day-to-day. Getting up early, doing the workouts even when you don't feel like it, changing eating habits, pushing through.
That whole ongoing effort.
That's the sanctification. It's the process that actually builds the fitness, that transforms you based on that initial decision. It needs constant attention.
That makes a lot of sense. The initial yes enables the long haul of doing.
Exactly. One is the spark, the other is tending the flame.
So the final thought for you to maybe chew on.
Yeah, the question to consider is this. How might recognizing this difference in your own life between a decisive, single act of commitment, your consecration, and the continuous process of development that should follow, your sanctification, how might that clarity help you?
Help you maybe set better goals or understand why some commitments stick and others fade.
Precisely. Or even just appreciate the different kinds of effort involved in truly achieving something meaningful. How does that apply to your journey?